Welcome to the Linux Shed. In this video we're going to go over some basic commands you will need when navigating the terminal. These are very basic and we're going to go over them really quick and show you a few examples of how they work. So we're going to start off with the first command you can see on the right hand side, which is ls, which stands for list. It lists files and directories in your current directory. So we do ls. It'll show we have 2 text documents and 4 folders. How do you know the text documents and how do you know the folders? I mean, in this terminal here, it shows us by color coding. But if you're not sure, we can do the next command, which is ls-l, which does a long list. As you can see, we have directories because it's got D at the start, so these 4 here are directories, and if it's just got a line with nothing, it means they're a file. So you've got 2 files and 4 directories. If we want to move into one of them directories, we can use the next command, which is change directory, which is cd. Type cd and then we'll go into the documents folder. We'll type cd documents and press enter, and as you can see now by the terminal, we are now in the documents folder. We do an ls and it'll show us we have 3 text files in the documents folder. Now if we want to go back to our home directory, we can type cd ... which will take us back 1 directory. Do ls again. We are now back in our first directory we were in at the start. The next command we can go over is cat, which stands for concatenate, which displays file contents to the terminal. So we've got a readme file there that we don't want to open or edit, we just want to see the contents of it. So we type cat readme.txt and it'll show the file contents, which just says this is a readme file. That's all that's in that file. If we want to copy that file, because it's very important and we want to copy it, or say we want to copy that file into our documents folder, we can use the cp command, which stands for copy. So I do cp readme.txt and I want to put that in my documents directory. So I've done cp the command, I've done readme, that's the file I want to copy, and I'm going to type documents because I want that in my documents folder. As you can see now, if we do ls again, we'll see the readme file still there because we haven't moved it, we've just copied it. Now if I do ls documents, because I'm listing the documents directory, I'm not in that directory but I'm listing it, you'll see we have the readme file in there, where above we didn't have the readme file, we just had the where was it? We just had the 3 files here, but we had no readme file, but it's now in there. Now I'm going to cd, so I'm going to change directory into that documents file folder, and I'm going to type ls to show the files are still there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to do I'm not going to do move, I'm going to go down to rm. I'm going to remove the readme file from there because it's a copied file. I don't mind that, I'm going to remove it. So I'm going to do rm readme.txt, press enter, and as you can see that file's gone. If you use the rm command, be careful because once you do remove a file, it's gone for good. There's no recycling bin in Linux. So once you remove the file, it's no longer recoverable. So we'll go back up to the top. We've done copy. We're going to do move. So let's move a file. Oh no, we've done copy. Yeah, copy is the same as move really. It's not the same, but you get me. It's the same type of command. So you're copying a file, you're keeping the existing file and you're copying it to another location or to the same location. Or you can do move, where you're moving it. So I'm going to go back to my home directory. So before we do that, I'm going to hit type clear. That's one of the commands on our list here, which is clear. So if you've got too much on your screen, it's a bit confusing. Type clear and it removes what's on your screen. It gets rid of what you've been looking at. It's still there in the background, but you don't see on your terminal. It just clears the terminal window. So we're going to do move. So I'm going to move the README for good to my documents. So MV for move, the name of the file you want to move, and then the location, which I'm just going to move it into documents. So now if we do ls again, we know that readme is no longer there. But if we did ls documents, you'll find out we're listing the documents directory, and we'll see there readme's back there. It's been moved to there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move that back. So I'm going to go into my documents with I'm going to go into document, sorry, with cd command, list everything in there, and we'll see the reason is. Let's move that, sorry, can't type, move that back to my home directory. So there's a few ways of doing this. The easiest way, because this is just basic, I'm just going to use the whole path file to my home directory. So in the home directory, my username is Linux Shed, and I want to move it to there. And now if I go back a directory, back to my home folder, you'll see readme.txt is back there. So the next command we're going to go over is the remove directory. Right, so I've got a directory here say called please delete me. To show it's a directory like I did before, ls long listing for L, and you'll see that please delete me is a directory because it starts with a D. So I'm going to remove that directory. So I'm going to do rmdir for remove directory and please delete me. Do ls, double check that's gone, and now that's gone. That folder is no longer recoverable. If I say folder or directory, I mean the same thing. I'm so used to saying folder for Windows, but I think most Linux people call them directories. So now that's gone, we'll go on the next command, which is, so once that's gone, it's gone for good. rmdir only deletes directories or folders that are empty. If there's contents in that directory, it will not delete it. So if I do rmdir documents, we know there's content in there. It won't do it because it knows it's not empty. So it's a bit of a safety feature there to ensure that it won't delete things that are in that current directory because there are contents in there. So let's clear the screen. So we've done remove directory. So say we want to make directory, ls again. We want to bring that folder back. So let's do make dir, and then it was called please delete me. Let's bring that directory back. So now we do ls. We'll see that directory's there. If you want to make more than one directory in the directory you're making, you can do make dir and use the p argument. And then if we did folder 1 and then / folder 2, what do you think this will do? This will now go, and now if you go into ls folder 1, we'll see it's made another folder in the folder. So it's made a directory in a directory. As you can see now, if I go into cd folder 1 ls, folder 2 is in there. So this brings us to how we can remove directories with the rm command. So we make directories with the mkdir command. We remove empty directories with the rmdir command. But if we want to remove a directory that's got contents inside it, we'll say we're going to remove the folder 1, and we can't do rmdir folder 1 because it's not empty because folder 2 is in there. So to do this, we need to use the r arguments. We'll do rm r, and then we go folder 1 ls. That's now removed folder 1 and all the contents inside that folder 1, which is folder 2. So that's gone, and that's gone for good. So be careful when using that because it will remove every file and folder in the actual folder you're removing. Just a quick example, if I create, we've got a folder there called please delete me. If I go into there, and I'm just going to touch command which creates files. I'm going to do file 1, file 2, file 3, and file 4. So underneath there you've got 4 files now, and say we'll create a directory as well, make dir, and we'll call it accounts. And then we'll go into the accounts directory, and then we'll have we'll create our accounts.txt file. So I'm gonna add a bit of text to that now. So this is what I was going to show you later on, but I'll show you now. So I'm going to open a text editor called Nano. Nano is a text editor just like Notepad in Windows. So I'm going to open my accounts.txt, and then here now we can start adding text. So I'm just going to say accounts for 2025. £500 Jan, 500 Feb, and so on. To get out of this, I'm going to Ctrl and X, and I'm going to press yes because I want to save the file, and I'm going to rename it. I'm going to keep the name as accounts.txt. So now we've got a lot of files now and folders in Please Delete Me. So I'm going to go back to my home directory, and I'm going to try and remove, so I'm going to try and remove all them files and all them with all them folders and files, in the Please Delete Me folder. Who won't let me do it, obviously because it's empty. So say all these, if I ls for list, please delete me, we've got accounts folder and we've got our files in there. These are very important, but if you run the rmr please and the folder name, it will remove all of them. So by typing that command, I've basically lost my accounts. ls, it's gone. So be careful using the rm with the argument of r on there. We've gone over touch. We just did the touch then, so I've got that listed twice, but we did the touch, which basically means it creates a file. So if we want to create a file called accounts again, you don't have to put .txt. The good thing about Linux is you don't have to have a file extension. It's every file on there is a text file anyway, so we'll just call that accounts on its own. It's good to have .text and so on, just it gives you an idea of what the file is really. But again, you can just ls that file and find out what it is anyway. lsl, sorry. It tells us that it's just a file. The next command to go over, which we've done rm, we've done touch, is the man page. So man stands for manual. So if you're not sure what a command does, you can type man ls for listing, and it tells you everything with all the flags, all the arguments you can use with it. So you can go over that. So if you're not sure which one they are, this is just a basic guide. So if you wanted to have a play yourself, you could go over it. So list directories themselves. So what we can do here is say, for example, use the D command. So to get out of the man page, just Q. So we did ls and D. It would list nothing there because it's listing that which directory you're in. What else can we? You got LSA for all. As you can see, there's loads more files there. If I do ls, there's only my files, but lsa, it lists all your hidden files. So there's loads of hidden files in your home directory. Every file that starts with a dot makes it hidden. In Windows, you can hide them a certain way. This is how you hide them from being displayed straight away. So a lot of these files are sort of config files or files that you need, but they don't need to be seen or accessed all the time. So if you do LSA, you will see the dot file, which means they are actual hidden files. The extra commands I was going to go over quickly is if this is your first time on a terminal and you want to update your server, you can update your server by typing sudo, which means super user. So when you're doing system changes, most Linux servers, you have to do sudo because it's basically saying I have got access, I have got privilege to be able to do that. If you're not a root user or you're not in the sudoers group, then you won't be able to update your server. But if you are, you can do sudo apt update, which will then because you've typed sudo in, it's asking for your password. So enter your password, and what it's doing now, it's going to Ubuntu's servers online to check if there's any updates for me, and there is. So it's saying at the bottom here now 101 package can be upgraded. You can run the apt list to see the packages that need upgrading, or if you're happy that you want to upgrade it, you can do sudo apt upgrade, and it'll ask you, are you sure you want to upgrade? You can press Y, and then now it's going to start updating this server. There's no need to wait for this. It was just a quick guide to show you how to update and upgrade your server. So that's basically a list of a few very basic commands that you'll need and that you'll use every single day if you are accessing a Linux server to administrate that server. These are the very basic ones, and you'll find yourself using cd, ls, cat, clear, pwd, and the rest of them a lot. It's the most commands that most people probably use when on a server. So yeah, if you have any questions, then please leave a comment in the section below and let us know, and we'll be happy enough to answer them for you. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, and hope to see you on the next one.